This is known as an apostolic interregnum.
My testimony of Jesus Christ, who is the head of this church, who is our Savior and Redeemer, who is the only begotten Son of God, our eternal Father, and the head of this church. And I do so firmly in the name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen. Amen. My testimony of Jesus Christ, who is the head of this church and the head of this church.
I have faith that the Constitution will be saved as prophesied by Joseph Smith, but it will not be saved in Washington.
Travis Wingood's video number 2 in the new playlist I created today for the new month, for the new year. These are not professional videos. This is a YouTube social media channel. This is where I try to reason and teach and warn. But I can be professional. I am a professional. Every video I cover can be turned into a professional publication. And that's why I do it in a YouTube form instead, is to try to reason with people at your understanding. And unfortunately, people don't accept that either. If I were to be professional, it wouldn't be understood, and it's not faith promoting, therefore it's wrong and of the devil. And you have Oaks yesterday, who comes out and says, we're banning the study of the Book of Mormon. We're going to have women read from manuals. So that women can be involved too. Oh, God. But anyway. So yes, when I cover this religion, its history, its doctrines, its rituals, its administration, its religion, I can do professional write-ups. Oh God, such disorganization. But it's quicker to just get it out rather than to deal with the computer systems that are making it very more complicated with projections. And it's worse now that my system is obsolete, because the AIs are trying to operate and it can't for the system. And so that is causing some further problems that are escalating, I notice. When I go online, the website freezes on me because it's buffered to the extreme that it freezes itself. It has no clue what to do. What is this program you're asking us to do? A site? But we want you to go here. We want you to do this. Why are you doing this? It is incapable of doing what computers originally were created to do. To do what we tell it to do, and faster, so that we can get more done. And now it's all about, screw you. And unfortunately, AI is replacing humans in their jobs. Reporters are being replaced by AI. Deep fakes are now the news. Chatbox GPT is telling us to kill ourselves. The toys you're buying for Christmas, toys you bought for Christmas, resulted in your kids' deaths. The healthcare system is being overrun. Everybody's being overrun. Internet's getting shut down, frozen. Governments being told that Tylenol now causes autism. And that there's trans-furry Antifa communist terrorists, drug-dealing Venezuelans, threatening our government and our way of life. Yeah, all hell's breaking loose for a reason. Ooh. Yeah, YouTube recommended it to me on a previous video. Oh, hell's breaking loose. Hey, loose. He's leaning while you're receiving. So we go back in time to 1838. Joseph Smith did not record this in 1823. He didn't record anything in the spring of 1820. He recorded in 1838. And Mormons want to live in denial of this. They don't know how to research. They don't know how to investigate. They don't know how to study. 1838. So the oldest document from church history is section 3. But in 1838, there's a problem in the church, and I covered that the other week. It's in the pile. I put it in chronological order of events that took place as a reference. And so this is from that, the Kirtland apostasy and what was about to occur in Missouri. Joseph Smith, in the first vision, 1838, says that there's a militant group of evil-disposed and designing missionaries who are lying about his church, the Church of the Latter-day Saints. But it says the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Yeah, because Willard Richards, who wrote it in the document, not just for us in the publication, is the evil-disposed and designing militant person of that group. Mormons have the evidence. And it just whoop, or whoop. Because I'm a blonde, yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I'm a blonde, yeah, yeah, yeah. Duck, Magnum, duck. And so Joseph Smith says that Christianity is all wrong, all abominable, and all corrupt. That this attempt to overthrow his church with Christianity is a great evil. And then he goes on to quote from Isaiah, "They draw near to me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me, denying the powers and the gifts of the Spirit." Seer, prophet, revelator, translator, Spirit. Scriptures were written in Spirit and therefore need to be interpreted by the Spirit. And so then the Methodist preacher, Joseph Smith says he tells him about his vision, and the Methodist preacher says it's of the devil. Get out of our church. Get out of our Harmony north of Pittsburgh. You glass looker. And so enter the second vision. Again, the sun god at noonday reappears to him, this time all by himself. And he quotes from Malachi, but with some alterations. That this is what the Book of Mormon is all about for the warning of the latter days. And the reason why Joseph Smith needs to get this Book of Mormon out. And remember 1838. Joseph adds, "They that come shall burn them," referring to Malachi's the day that shall burn as an oven, a mass human extermination event by Christians who are coming to burn the world. And we all know why. For Jesus' kingdom. Guess we're going to leave them on the screen to make sure I get them all in the video. And so, shortly thereafter, Thomas B. Marsh writes his affidavit to the governor of Missouri, warning of the national security threat within his church, the Church of the Latter-day Saints, by a group calling themselves Danites. True Mormons. And they are militant. They are evil disposed and designing. Just as Joseph Smith previously said, but didn't get published, so that Thomas B. Marsh didn't know about it yet. And he would never know about it, because the Danites and what they showed him said, I'm out. That's it. No more. So yeah, when George Albert Smith is quoted by Hinckley and Monson at the pulpit of conference about spilt milk, and they go into detail about the strippings and how that's all part of the thing, and yeah, that's a diversionary tactic of a liar. Thomas B. Marsh left. He wasn't excommunicated defending his wife's honor. He left because of this evil group. And yeah, they blame Joseph. But still, in the lies, you can expose the truth that they don't want you to know. And so yes, they were threatening other Mormons, just like Thomas B. Marsh. Join us. You need to take a blood oath atonement covenant path and die if you betray us. That's where it all comes from. 1838, the Danites. Adam-on-Diamond, the Danites, 1838. Tithing for priestcraft and other crimes, the Danites, 1838. Everything that the Danites were involved with began in 1838, because they're forming a coup. And Thomas B. Marsh is reporting on this coup. And as part of their coup, they're running a test run in 1838. Their ultimate plan that they're running tests for, in similitude of their future plot, is to overthrow the United States of America and ultimately the whole world. And so the hoarding of money at the storehouse of the Lord, yeah. Murder, theft, destruction. These are the Danites. And so, read over section 117, verse 11. Newell K. Whitney. Come to Adam-on-Diamond and be the bishop. Stay away from that Nicolaitan band. Yeah, there's where polygamy began. The Danites. The Danites. So yeah, they confirm it themselves 40 years later. They wrote their whole plot in a journal that they published, but didn't present it to the church. It was put in the Joseph Smith papers, because they found it and go, oh, wow, that says it's for July 1838 and other months in July of other months in 1838. Yeah, let's put it in the Joseph Smith papers. Church is so true. Oh, look, section 119. We knew it was true. Travis was wrong. It's not for priestcraft after all. It's Jesus' economy. And Adam on diamond. We'll just correct the spelling that they put in here. 40 years later, when doing an investigation, you need to kind of know stuff like, when does ink fade? So that you know that the original documents that they used the papers for to put in their papers, to insert and then bind it into a book, there's a 40-year gap. And they even put things out of order because of the way it was done. Exposing their fraud. But nonetheless, they themselves call themselves the Order of the Danites. We have a company of Danites in these times to put to rights physically, militant, that which is not right in their eyes, and to cleanse the church. You kind of need Joseph's permission to do this unless you're forming a coup. Thomas B. Marsh was a leader of the Quorum of the 12, and he didn't know about them until all of a sudden, what the hell is this? We have a church in Adam on Diamond? Isn't that Spring Hill? It's not incorporated. There's a storehouse. And you're putting the stuff you're stealing from people there after murdering them and burning down their village. Yeah, I'm out. So in the end of 2017 and into 2018, because of the neighbor before Sunday school one Sunday asked me if I knew that Joseph Smith had a pistol. And I went, yeah, my third great grandfather gave it to him. All the Fulmers in my family know this. We also know that Desdemona Fulmer was not a wife of Joseph's during his lifetime. She was sealed to him by proxy after his death. We all knew this in our family. We know the church is lying, and yet Fulmer family members are still faithful Mormons, even though they have the Fulmer Foundation and blah, blah, blah. And so I don't understand that of Mormonism, that people stay Mormon knowing the church is false. You know, the Genesis group in Salt Lake City, that was a group before 1978 because they're black. And now, after 1978, it's a ward. A segregated ward, meaning the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is still racist. But the blacks who are attending this Genesis group, why are you Mormon? In a segregated ward? What is wrong with you? Kwaku, what is wrong with you? You know the church is racist. You're the token black man in Mormon apologetics. Why? Women, why? You know you're sexually abused. You know you're abused emotionally, physically, spiritually, oppressed, depressed, suppressed, repressed. Why? I don't understand this behavior of Mormonism. Knowing this church is evil and staying Mormon. I don't get it. 15 million of us have left Why are those who are staying, who know it's wrong, staying? I don't get it. It does not make sense. It's not Stockholm Syndrome. This is far worse. You are free. Just leave. I mean, yeah, the church will try to murder you, destroy your life, steal your money. You know, the Danites. It's what they do. But still, dear God, tell your parents why. Tell your family why. This church isn't true. They're abusing us. We're black and we're Mormon? What the hell is wrong with us? We're LGBTQ, IAPO plus, and Canada 2S. Why are we trying to be Mormon? Why? I don't get it. Democrat? Why? So yes, this is why the church is the way they are. They're the Danites. That's why it's a white supremacist apostleship. And that's why they're now starting to put in not quite full white into the apostleship. Is because of their plot right now. It's almost over. They're waiting for Trump, who keeps failing. But we're not there yet. And so they determine, as judges, Danites, what is evil and what is not, and then they physically put it to rights. That's the order of Nehor from the Book of Mormon, in case anybody doesn't know about it. Dear God, I had a Mormon, and one of those categories of, why are you a Mormon? Nonetheless, he says, I know about the Danites and I know about the Nehor, and one of them is evil. One? One? You can't do a pattern match? And so, the reason they're justifying being physical with people to force them into their religious beliefs of Christianity, of white supremacist Christian nationalism, alt-right, of extremism, is that they claim that when you try to teach people and persuade them that Jesus has a body of flesh and bones as tangible as man's, and his daddy likewise, and therefore raped his 14-year-old mommy and abandoned her as she's his daughter. You're supposed to believe that. And you're supposed to pray and get the right feeling that that's so true. Because that's what Oakes said yesterday. Again, repeating it. He's the only begotten Son of the Father. What do you think it means? It's not Christian. It is not a dove who raped a 14-year-old girl. It's a daddy who raped his 14-year-old girl. And neither the dove or daddy are a descendant of the seed of King David. And nobody catches this? And so, yes, they say that their teachings and their persuasions will not work on Mormons. And so they got to get physical. Let's get physical, physical. We're gonna rape you instead. Let's get physical. Taking away your agency, agency. There's a funny story behind that in my childhood for my brother. He would get a later hand-me-down clock radio, as I did in 82, summer of 82, after my parents' anniversary. And so I guess my brother got the one at a later year. And my mom told me that he came in one day to tell her that Olivia Newton-John's Physical, he liked it. This is a great song, Mommy. It talks about being physically fit. Mom said, no, it's about sex. Oh, evil. Oh, Mommy. How do I repent? Do I need to see my bishop? He would only play the piano church hymns from there on out, until he went to BYU and they corrupted him to say that classical music is also okay, even though Mozart was the Motley Crue of his day. That rebel rouser. Highly support Amadeus. And then when he went to Michigan, he then caved to the wisdom of the world and the Angels song, Nicolas Cage and what other woman who dies as he falls from heaven, the fallen angel, to physically have sex with her, and then she's dead. And then he's talking to the other angel. Was it worth it? Yeah. No. No. She's dead. It's not worth it. Dear God, who wrote that script? Nonetheless, Mormons, they're not normal. So, I've exposed, and I'm now living here because of it, this plot. And found the Adam-on-Diamond council meeting. That's what I was looking for. We have a Mormon myth that in the latter days there'll be a big gathering of priesthood, Melchizedek priesthood holders, at Adam-on-Diamond. We have yet to have a building built there, so we're still waiting for it, even though it already happened. I'm going to have to take a station identification break from the water last video. And so I was searching for it, trying to find it. You know, every Mormon has their views of how it's supposed to be, and nobody's using a source document. I found it finally. I had had a dream of it even back on my mission when I first got out and was in Massapequa Park. I woke up in a sweat to the dream I had, in which I'm in a stake center chapel. It's packed clear into the cultural hall, back to the stage of all men, priesthood holders, wearing the black suit with, you know, a dark conservative tie. As missionaries, we're supposed to wear that. And whether it was the stake president or whether it was the one conducting, not presiding, it doesn't matter. That was not the important part of the dream. He gets up, he starts talking business, and an intro and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden he stops and says, I now introduce to you Jesus Christ. And nobody whiplashes around to see him. They're all straightforward zombies. I turn around. From the doors behind me in the chapel, security guards come in, they're packing heat. And then this stereotypical Jesus character of white man origin, bearded, brown hair, comes in his robe, where the rest of us are in the black suits. He comes down the aisle where I am, stops right there at my aisle, turns and mentally telepathy tells me, you just barely made it. That's why I wake up in a sweat. What the hell do you mean I just barely made it? What did I do wrong? I'm on my mission. What do you mean? What's going on? Who are you? Why are you telling me this? I just started my mission and I just barely made it. What the hell? Was it that R-rated movie I watched? Didn't confess to my bishop? Was it Metallica's album or cassette tape, Master of Puppets, in defiance of Benson? What? Tell me. Don't just tell me I barely made it. Nonetheless, Adam on Diamond, it's on Mormons' minds. And so, Joseph Fielding Smith Sr., taken hostage by Heber C. Kimball with his brother and his mommy. And you can see the indoctrination. They tell Thomas B. Marsh directly, we are doing it. We are the cause. We are going to coup the government. We are Christian and imposing Christianity with militant force. But now, Joseph Fielding Smith Sr., the president of the church that no longer exists, because the United States shut it down for their tithing crimes, is now exposing this future plot, but it's encoded now. Page 291, under the Gathering at Adam-on-Diamond by Voice of the Priesthood. This council in the Valley of Adam-on-Diamond is to be of the greatest importance to this world. At that time, there will be a transfer of government authority from the usurper and impostor Lucifer. This is not actual Lucifer. This is a leader of the United States of America, the president. Not Congress, not SCOTUS. It's singular for the president. They're going to get the President of the United States to hand over the government authority to the rightful king, Jesus Christ. And yet, remember, not real. It's the President of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And yes, Oakes said, I'm Jesus. I'm the head of the church. I'm Jesus. And you don't catch it because he's using code. Just like this. Oakes has a Messiah complex. He knows he's Lucifer. Because they have to tell him about my videos, the Strengthening Church Members Committee. But we need to read that for you, because the Isaiah author also makes it very clear Christianity is wrong on this. Christianity thinks, as does the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, that Lucifer is real, but not real. Christians have a different understanding of Lucifer than Mormons do. But nonetheless, they don't believe he's human, neither Christian nor Mormon. Mormons believe he rebelled in the premortal council in heaven and was denied coming to earth to get a body. So he was cast down to earth just like the rest of us were as spirits, but we get a body and he doesn't. And so he can possess our bodies when we watch porn or watch an R-rated movie or listen to Metallica or drink caffeine. Oops, it's 14 or 13. No, that's the second coming of Babylon. Yeah, 14. And so, yes, Lucifer, the son of the Roman god Mars, who had sex with his sister Venus. The inverted pentagram of Lucifer. That's why. It goes all the way back to them. But the inverted pentagram has been used from the earliest of days by the Egyptians for falling stars. That's why the Greeks and the Romans, especially the Romans, who had Lucifer as in their theology. But they have comparable characters in the Greeks and all the way back to the Egyptians. And so, if you've been following me all these latter days, I kept showing you the picture of how Nelson was Mars, and referring to this, that the church, as the woman Venus, is the inverted pentagram church. It's on the keystone of the doors of the Salt Lake Temple. It's one of those things that Mormons really can't deny. And what? You're going to threaten me physically to deny it? To shut me up about it? I got married in room number 13 and both photographers got the full door in. And the Relief Society president photographer came to us specifically and said, I made sure to get the full door in. Other people don't get the full door in. I made sure to get the full door in for you. Thank you. Oh, crap. Tom Jones was right back in 8th grade. I do worship Lucifer. Crap, he was right. Born again Christians. Picking on me. And so, it's the line where, is this the man? Where are you? Yeah, 16 from Isaiah. And it's plagiarized in the Book of Mormon exactly, which is awesome. Because ex-foes think that, oh, errors and all. No, he specifically knows the errors and put it in anyway. Joseph Smith Sr. Come on, guys, do your research. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? he will be the cause of the destruction of mankind. Armageddon. And right here, the Danites are saying they're going to be the causation. And Joseph Fielding Smith Sr., son of Hiram Smith, who was assassinated by them, is not being told the truth, but is being told the code. And he believes it's real. That's how effective they are in brainwashing Mormons. And he says, nobody is supposed to know about this. It's a secret, even from Mormons. And yet, this became the myth that was never supposed to be shared. It's in our temple rituals of the endowment. The law of consecration. We're going to establish our kingdom over the death of America. And you cannot tell, or you die. We are cooing America. It's going to happen. It's God's will. The order of Dan, the Son of God. But to avoid the too frequent repetition of the name Dan, we use the name Jesus. And here's where the myths expanded upon. The saints cannot know of it except those who officially shall be called unto this council. For it shall precede the coming of Jesus Christ as a thief in the night, unbeknown to all the world. And he's a man, just like Lucifer is a man. And yet they're doing a switch thing here. They're Lucifer. They're cooing it. Trump is Jesus. He had a second coming. All right, so I definitely need to take a station identification break, and we'll continue with the council. Okay. So, yeah, the obvious pimple on the nose, scarred up. I've always tried to clean it out. And so if my nose during the video all of a sudden gushes blood everywhere, just understand it's okay, it's real. It's not a visual effect. It's real. It's not CGI. All right, so the secret combination. By being shut down, the church had to figure out a new plan in preparation for their final latter-day plot. They can no longer do it by creating a massive nation of polygamous harem children. And so Heber J. Grant decides we're going to do it financially. And so he creates a corporation of the no longer existent religion to put Mormons into bondage as chattel to fund their terrorist operation. And that they now would be involved in financing terrorism, financing the coup, financing the violence and the crimes necessary to set everything up, put everything in motion. And so, come 1981, the church was able to get the guy who made the Left Behind series to be the leader of the secret combination called the Council for National Policy. Founded in 1981 as Ronald Reagan, that dude from Death Valley days, became president. When Russia rose up with the Americans, if you remember, I watch certain movies and TV shows that I'm inspired to watch. My associative memory is spot on. And so, watching Andromeda lately, AI. Learning that the current AI was already created as fiction way back with Andromeda and other shows. That these corporations pushing AI that is now all over everywhere in everybody's systems, except for those of us who are obsolete, is specifically for the overthrow of world governments. Fox News exposed, this is for the New World Order. All over the world. AI. It is a program by humans. It is not an intelligence. Everything it does is because a human programmed to do it. It is a monkey see, monkey do program. And when it shuts down the internet, when it denies you buying food at your grocery store, when it shuts down the power, when it attacks the government agencies, steals your identification, a human programmed it to do that. Nobody's understanding this. The corporations are getting away with their lie and big con. They're a part of the coup. They're in this membership directory that got leaked in 2014. Yeah, they're that organized. And they're stupid enough to keep a membership record. But they have to in order to contact everybody that's involved for when they need them to do a certain job. And this is where we get to the news that happened yesterday. Surprise, it's the news video. That's why it's so long. And not a quick one. Like Charlie Kirk was assassinated by somebody else. And the other videos that I got planned, assuming we got time. We got plenty of time. It's only 9:46. It turns New Year, and the clock said, "Oh, it's 2024. It's Monday." Why? And just yesterday, I had to fix the time on the other clock because it was an hour ahead. What the hell are you doing? Why? You shouldn't be an hour ahead. Did I wake up too early the last week? But people program this. And these are not AI. And yet they still have the failings because of the human who put the program in. So, this Council for National Policy claims economic freedom, Judeo-Christian values, and a strong national defense. And so you see what the people's interests are as well. And so when Trump was in the hearings for his coup, his lawyer, a member, I can't remember the guy's name anymore. He connected SCOTUS with billionaires. He's in here. Kellyanne Conway, she's in here. And thus the Mormon, as Joseph Fielding Smith leaked, would be officially called into this council. W. Cleon Skousen originally, and now that he's dead, he put his firstborn birthright blessing son Mark in his place. The Skousens are the church service missionaries for the Adamondiaman Council. Yeah, you thought it was a priesthood meeting. There's only one priesthood holder in attendance. Oops! That's how the Danites are now operating. Instead of them doing all the work, they get other people to do all the work for them. They fund the operations now. And so, yeah, only with the religious freedom movement was the church involved. It's their exemption clause for the Disrespect for Marriage Act. And I just, oh my God, Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer are there signing the document. And I'm just going, oh my God, do you guys not understand? The exemption clause, no one voids it. People can ban it and forbid it because of the exemption clause. It's a trap. Especially in the state of Utah, where it's all run by one religion that's against LGBTQIAPO plus 2S. Why are you Mormon? Why? And so we get to the news. Yet, oh, nope, one more. Oaks got leaked. Mr. Lucifer himself, the successor of Mars on the throne, apostolic interregnum. I'm Jesus! Apostolic interregnum. I'm Jesus. I'm the head of the church. I can't forget those. I gotta put them in. And he repeats it. Mormons. I'm Jesus. Bow to me. Bow to the king of ill putrescence. Oh my God. And so, now it's 2 years ago. Not last year. November 2024 is what I now have to say. A Mormon found this a month after General Conference, where Nelson gets up, well, sits down, and says, in a coming day, Jesus! We have a presidential election coming up with the second coming of Trump. No Jesus, though. Hey, wait a minute. Trump went to the Holy Land to set the Jews free. And Mormons are in denial, propping Trump up to be Jesus. And nobody gets it. except for evangelicals. But the church, Oaks is Jesus. The King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. Which I want to hear that song. Little Sister Jessica's mission website from 2020. After finding out about Oaks, or Nelson saying that in the coming day, who gets a lot more views than me, and to mock me, the Mormon YouTube employee down in Utah County, recommend appearing coming up in a video. Whether or not I bathe and shave, I probably can with this long video. I just need to bathe. Well, yeah, you hate the church, you're an anti-Mormon. And look at how evil they made you. Look at how criminal they've made you. You just haven't been caught yet. Dear God, orgy sex? Seriously. For Mormons who believe in the literal history similitude, worshiping a gold cow. And you call it soft swinging? You don't even know it yet. Everybody's laughing at you. They only watch the lives to see the scandals. They're not watching it to learn about the church. They already know you're false. It needs to be changed hastily. You didn't pay attention to what the story was really about. Heretic. And so, yes, for this to have been leaked is a bigger gamble than the latest winner of the lotto. The odds of this is astronomically small. Oaks himself has come out and said, no recording. He's the reason why cell phones are supposed to be banned in chapels for sacrament meetings, especially for conferences. They're supposed to confiscate all of your materials when you come to the conference center. Nobody is supposed to record. Nobody is supposed to quote. They want their words kept a secret, exclusive to then and there, and only then you're supposed to get the right feeling about what they said, not actually pay attention to the words. I've got Oaks on that video clip. You're supposed to feel good about his mantle. And go, ooh, living prophet of Jesus, the church is so true. Yay! Not normal. Not. Why? But yeah, for the mission president, at this new mission president's meeting, they were supposed to be gone for 3 years of their life. They're not supposed to remember. They're not supposed to quote it. Oaks leaks it anyway. He couldn't shut his mouth. He couldn't keep it a secret, as it's supposed to be. So no one is supposed to know about it. And yet I already exposed it in 2021 with the Way to Perfection. And they know that I exposed them, because here I am. But this explained why it didn't happen when it was supposed to happen. Why all these extra years as the church now was able to ramp up their attacks on me. Now I understand why. God damn you. He told the mission presidents, and only one of them leaked it to stake presidents and parents of the missionaries in a letter. And only one missionary who was 19 years of age, because Monson lowered the age. Do you see how astronomically impossible this is for it to have happened? Of all the things that was supposed to be kept a secret, for the odds of this getting leaked, dear God, Mormons, and you're still living in denial? Oaks confesses they're the enemy. This is not going to be the end of the world on March 14th, 2020, talking about what's coming up that we still had yet to know. But merely a test, a trial run for the second coming. Yeah. Now put everything else in perspective. He tells you to do so. If you've been following the counsel from the prophet about ministering, this is how they ministered me. They took away the home teaching program. There's no communication for emergency systems anymore. It's ministering. Yeah, if there's somebody who needs help, fine. We'll go and see them this one time. That's ministering. My stake in West Valley was the beta test for the ministering program before it came out. I know how it operates. I was a part of it, and I was the victim of it after they kicked me out. Emergency preparedness. Yeah, no, we didn't get anything by Nelson about emergency preparedness. I've done the videos about it. Every single conference, no emergency preparedness. This was a Freudian leak by Oaks. At home church. Yeah, we're shutting down the church. We're doing away with Joseph. We're doing away with the Book of Mormon. It's all up to you families to survive. And then he comes out after the death of Nelson and is interviewed and says, or was it his conference talk? I can't remember now. One of the two. He talks about how he wishes for the good old days when families survived the wilderness and the hardships without technology. That's what he means by emergency preparedness and at-home church. He's destroying mankind. He is sending us back into the Stone Age. You have no need to fear. You passed the test. And some stuff that he left out was what he had just done under Nelson in 2019. The law of chastity got changed. To what, Mormons? Ooh, pronouns. Ooh, LGBTQ? No. Polygamy. We all know in the church that polygamy will resume in the millennium. with the second coming of Jesus. And here he confesses in 2020, after 2019's change. The state of Utah even knows what this was about, because the Mormon legislatures now are decriminalizing polygamy because of the change in the temple text. They know what's coming, sort of, not really. They know the change that was made. They know the church wants them to decriminalize it. Okay. All in preparation, just in case this test run actually works. The coup, the theft of money. And I've been doing the videos repeatedly. The church made off like bandits from just the one source of income that got exposed by the whistleblower. $6 billion on the stock market, where everybody else suffered and died. They made money off of your deaths, the deaths of your family, the deaths of your friends, the death of your neighbors, the death of mankind. Millions of people worldwide died, and we don't have the accurate numbers because only those who got tested got reported. And so until the tests came out, millions had already died. And those who refused to get tested and died from it did not get counted. This was a massive extermination event, but it was just a test run. The church knew about it. So yeah, what a coinkadank. Nelson gets up in that April conference and says, and Shanghai for a temple? Oh wait, you didn't tell the government you were doing this? You're forming a coup against China? So that only members in China can go to a designated building already used for church. Can now function as a temple? Well, if you can do that, why haven't you done it all around the world? Why do you keep buying up land? Oh, right. The coup. Yeah, buying up land. When there's an apocalypse, the aftermath, leadership, are those who own the land. And thus the military might to keep it. And that's what the church was planning. They get other people to do the work, funding terrorism, financing all of the criminal operations, to have other people do the work and get blamed for it. And then the church stands back, oh, not us. And then they rise up in the aftermath, in the ashes. That's their whole plan. Oaks got leaked. And so I've already exposed that they lowered the age of child brides to 11. Oaks' October 2019 conference starts off with a letter from a woman who's concerned about polygamy, whether she gets her own home. And his little code word, trust in the Lord for polygamy. And so the primary with 11-year-olds and earlier being groomed with 2022, I believe it was. They decided to name the theme for that year, Trust in the Lord, kids. Because the test run happened, we're now preparing and grooming for the next wave. that it's not supposed to be a test run, that, oh, whoops, Trump! And thus why Trump is under full attack again. He failed. And so they're reminding him to hurry up. Epstein files, and now Jack Smith's deposition. Over 8 hours of deposition flooded the internet. And yep, the coup that Oakes said was just going to be a test run. And so sure enough, Steve Bannon in the membership list, involved in the 2016's coup, then went on to a European tour to coup Europe, and Brexit, that was Bannon. He was given the call, Bannon, we need your help with this. Okay. Anything for the church to have their kingdom back. They don't know about it. Nobody, not even the council, knows that the church is using them. Because if Steve Bannon knew, he would be furious. And Trump too. That's what's pissing me off, is that I've been trying to get through all different ways, all different agencies. Trump, they're gonna use you. They're using you. Trump, they're gonna murder you. Trump, you're getting framed. Trump, they've got you compromised. The church, Trump. He's not listening because nobody is getting it back to him because Mormons have intercepted it. They're everywhere, protecting the church from Trump, who would be furious and utterly destroy Utah if he knew that he was being used by this church. The whole world would turn on this church if they knew they were being used. Putin would be furious and nuke Utah if he knew. Xi would nuke Utah if he knew. Everybody would nuke Utah if they knew. And I've been reporting it repeatedly in these 10,000 videos. And it's not getting out because there are Mormons protecting this church. If they only knew they were being used. So, yeah, Jack Smith. Specifically, I caught the part where they're trying to claim, well, didn't Trump's words at the rally constitute First Amendment speech? And he makes it very clear repeatedly because they're not catching on. They don't want to catch on. No, what Trump said constitutes a crime. You can say that you should have won the election. You can claim that the other people shouldn't have won. But once you start making criminal accusations that obviously aren't true, you've now crossed the line. What Trump said was a lie, intended to incite violence to overthrow the government. And then I also caught, because I didn't know Steve Bannon was a member yet, that wouldn't be until right before October conference in 2021 when I learned about the leak of the secret combination with Bannon in it. I remember January 6th. I remember the news subsequently reporting that there was phone calls at the White House. And I remember hearing about Steve Bannon calling the president. But it only was connected to 2016's activities. I remember thinking, well, he's back? Because he got banned and then went on a European tour. So he's back in graces with Trump again? That's weird. That's as far as it went for me with my associative memory. But in the deposition, Epstein got involved with Bannon and Trump. Epstein is tied to the coup. As I told you, the Huntsman's special church service mission. And thus Holland had his episode. Bye-bye. Gotcha this time. Because in 2020, I put him in the hospital. As I sued the church. And that filing that I did about the inverted pentagram gave Holland an episode, and they didn't even bother to tell us for 2 weeks later. 2 weeks they kept it a secret from us because they knew that I would find out, and that I knew it had to do with my filing. And this time you can't hide it anymore. I know everything. Dear God. So yeah, this whole coup, I know the whole plot now. I've been telling you about it, its origins, formation, Book of Mormon and Joseph Smith trying to warn us specifically, because it's the church that's holding us in bondage that is the cause. Mormons are supposed to save America by shutting down this organization, and you failed. You were supposed to save the Constitution from the brink of ruin, not hanging by a thread. Again, the other Mormon myth, every Mormon gets wrong. And you failed, Mormons. You failed to save America because you thought that cooing America was what Jesus wanted you to do. You deny Joseph Smith, you deny the Book of Mormon by siding with this church. Dear God. So, some other things that you need to pay attention to as Trump has been, he failed all 2025. It's now over. He failed. Is that Trump is now going to remove the National Guard from Chicago, LA, and Portland. Whether he does or not, that's another issue, but if he does, that's also important to pay attention to. This is New Year. It's still not over yet, but New Year's Eve came and went. No bombings. No nukes. Remember George Albert Smith? I just did it again the other day. In fact, I think it was yesterday. Yeah, he told members of his ward back in 1947 that the latter day Armageddon, day that shall burn as an oven, will be nukes. That's why they were running the test with the Philadelphia experiment and nuking Japan. The church. They're behind everything, remember? That's why the church then began talking about the day that shall burn as an oven as a nuclear holocaust. Remember? Oh, you're too young? You don't listen to my channel. Only the elderly listen to my channel. What are you doing listening? What, because my video got recommended because you came to my Charlie Kirk video? And so we're waiting for a trigger event. We're waiting for another 9/11 of far greater proportions this time. And yet, nothing yet. All 3 holidays are almost over. And no nuke. Trump failed. But things are building. As I've been doing the videos covering it for you. So pay attention to when Trump gives up in certain cities that he was enforcing. Look for a bombing or nuking in Chicago, LA, and Portland in the coming day. But he keeps failing. So hopefully not, but pay attention to this. Trump has struck Venezuela now. Pay attention to this. Trump has struck Nigeria now. Pay attention to this. Remember, the church is involved in all of it. Everywhere where there's war, the apostles of the Lord Jesus have been. Just like Jesus of the literal history of the first creed of Christianity. Jesus ministers to the Jews, and then they are utterly exterminated from the face of the earth by the Romans. And still Christians say the Jews murdered Jesus. Talk about your evil. Dear God. And so, yeah, Utah. Healthcare subsidies have now skyrocketed to be unaffordable. On purpose. Project 2025 from the Heritage Foundation, from the Council for National Policy, by the church. Not the left behind guy. He thinks it's him. Little does he know. All to Coup America to have Jesus come. Church has got a surprise. Oaks says Jesus. You thought it was Trump. Utah got exposed by Fox as having no interest in replacing health care for those who need it. They ain't going to do it. They're going to abandon you again. Just like with SNAP, abandon you. Just like with the financial crisis, abandon you. It's survival of the fittest in Utah. The false doctrine warned about in the Book of Mormon about that Korihor guy. And here the church is acting like Korihor. And Mormons accuse me of being a Korihor. That's interesting, beam and mote projecting. So yes, you are all in grave danger and you don't care. Because the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is true as an enemy terrorist threat. And so with AI, yeah, 1984, Big Brother. He can live forever and never die. So Oaks, all they have to do is do an AI of him, and he will live on through the millennium, telling you what to do, as you are a slave to Utah. You never did read Section 119, did you? You never did read it. because it's about the millennial economy. And so instead of 10%, it's going to be changed to the law of consecration, which is everything, not 10% anymore. You only get what you need to be a slave to this church. Only the leaders get the polygamous wives, and that's why the extermination of mankind, the church says, oh, we have no choice. We have to resume polygamy and go down to 11-year-old girls to resume the human population. Have no choice. They caused it, though, to make it happen, to justify doing it again. That's why they are evil. It is not a natural disaster that, oh crap, mankind is about to be exterminated. Sorry, honey, we have no choice. Well, you're doing it without me then. I love you. Oh, don't you love me? I knew you had a crush on that girl, but there, we're gonna be exterminated. I don't care. But if by some slim chance, even slimmer than this getting leaked, we get a group to Zion to have it built as I've already got it designed in my head, as I've been desperately trying to get Mormons, hello, I want Zion, it can't happen without you. If we get it, I am just gonna break and bawl if it ends up being exactly like the branch in the Bronx on my mission. McFarland and I were sent there specifically to get the membership records established. For years, the elder couples just made it worse. It was a branch because they didn't have a membership directory. They didn't know how many elders were there, if they could form a ward. And so Colford, finding out that I'm not a troublemaker after all, that I have a membership records of 2 4-inch binders thick of membership records or investigator records, that we were doing work. It just, nobody said yes. Everybody said no. Whereas every other companionship of 2 were getting 200 baptisms per month. And then there was us. 0. And all the missionaries were making the accusations, oh, you're apostasy, you're not working hard, you're not praying hard enough, you're not being obedient, you're wicked, something's got to be wrong. And yeah, the zone leader comes busting into our apartment one morning. Where's your membership records? In the kitchen table. And then I hear from the other room, oh, you are doing work. Bleep you! And so, yeah, word gets back to Covert. And so finally, Augustine is free of me. Bastard. I still owe you. Not for the mission. I let that go. But what you did to me in 2008, there is no forgiveness for you. And so Gopher set me up with McFarland to go in and fix the membership records in the Bronx. And we did. Wasn't hard. But McFarland, I let him take over. He loved calling church headquarters back and forth, and being the big man. So I let him. So, because, he rewarded me by taking me to all of the cathedrals in New York where he would play the organ, and I would sit there, listen to him up in the upper rafter, depending on where we were. And I would read my Bible, going all the way through, marking all of the latter-day scriptures in purple highlighter. Yeah. That was a good ending to my mission, even though I still had Baxter to finish with. We were missionary MTC companions, and we finished together. So yeah, it was just a coast. The elders were trying to say, yeah, you gotta still do work. The membership records are already established, so now you got to go back and do work. It's a final month. Leave us alone. Bastards. Dear God. So, yeah. Women dominated. They didn't even have enough men, and they knew they didn't have enough men because the branch presidency only had one counselor with the branch president. We as missionaries had to fill in as counselors and clerks and the membership clerk and the financial clerks. We did the tithing. We were doing everything because the branch didn't have any men. It was all full of women. Over 200 women, and not enough men to form the church organization that the missionaries had to fill in and step in and help out. And if that ends up being Zion, I'm going to break. It's far beyond 10 virgins. It's far more than 72 for Islam. It will break me if that's the case. And I don't know what we're going to do. I mean, sure, fine, in vitro fertilization, but God. Oaks is to blame. There is no forgiveness for what is going on in his mind. When they tell you that Lucifer is evil, oh, they're covering it very lightly. Like Mormons claim that their orgy sex is. Soft swinging. But that was the problem that I saw in the news about the funeral. See, because I got the clips, I'll put them in the video. Mormons will be pissed with me. But they didn't study like I have. They don't know. They want to live in denial. They don't want to know the truth. They want to be deceived. They want things to be simplistic so that they just get the right feeling and now the church is true. Magic. Faith without works is Holland. They don't even know that scripture to know why I would put Holland in there. But the news only selects faith-promoting stuff. They will not report the news. They will not expose this church. They will not investigate it. They will not say, hey, wait a minute, members have to pay to have sex? Isn't that prostitution? Missionaries have to pay their own way on their missions to convert people to pay the church? Isn't that a pyramid scheme? Psychology? Weren't they the ones that tortured the Jews in World War II? Mormons will never want to understand my videos, my pictures, my video clips, because their whole life is based on feelings. And it's making it worse for when the church will actually fall and abandon them. The faith crisis that the remaining Mormons are going to have will be far more exponentially stronger than those who left the church with a faith crisis. Because the church lied, and they couldn't tolerate that kind of a lie. The Mormons who have physically abused me will be devastated. Crap, Travis was right all along. And the church is gone. But, you know, church is still going to try to see if they can do a 1984 on you. Or a Wizard of Oz from their generation. They don't care. And I say these things in the name of Dan, who's the head of this church. Amen.